Yeah, I'm on a live. Hold on, I'll call you back. Hold on. All right, good. All right. Welcome to Starlight in my channel. We're back with another good video today. Of course, you can tell by the title. We're gonna be talking about constellations and cities. Constellations and cities. So, what am I meaning by this? What is the correlation that I'm bringing up with constellations and cities? So when we talk about constellations and cities, I want to talk about kind of like I broke down a little bit before with the whole situation as far as what was we talking about? We was basically talking about different constellations or celestial energies being in the backdrop of different cities. Like for instance, over New York, I think it was Cancer. It was like Cancer was in the backdrop of New York, over that space in New York, but in the backdrop, and in the backdrop of Cancer is what you got a lot of different stars. Sirius is one of them. Sirius A, the dark star, and I thought about, I was like, damn, you think about it, it kind of makes sense because New York is really known for like the whole like har 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 and like the whole like the deep voice. They're known for the deep voices, the a lot of music, with the deep voice dealing with the vocal box, which is a part of communication. And if you know anything about the Sirius star, Sirius, that deals with the mouth of the dog, aka this deals with communication. It deals with some other stuff too that I break down in the other video when I break down other stars and their energies and correlations. How you can use them to correlate your own energies and build and expand on your own spirit to get bigger and all that stuff in the sense. But that's another video. But one of the biggest ones we talk about right now, for the sake of this video, is going to be the communication and the vocals. So that's what Sirius. That's just one of the big things Sirius deals with. And it's funny because in New York you see them big with a lot of like music. They birth a lot of music, a lot of different music genres and cultures and all that stuff like that. That's popular. They're known for having a certain type of voice or strong voices. And of course, not everybody is like that, but they're known for that. Um, yeah. Another one is it puts them in a situation where it's like you can tell by a certain level of aggressiveness in the area and the energy that like, whatever energy is over New York resonates with that energy and period in that space and location. Now I'm not saying people didn't indoctrinate other people as far as bring certain things over, different people that ruled certain things and they came and they help influence it to be a certain type of way. I ain't saying that too, but that energy still exists in that place. So it's kind of like a situation where it's like I can see some of that serious energy play out over New York. Another one that me and my homeboy was talking about the other day, we was talking about Florida. One of the constellations that is in the backdrop of Florida, we believe is Pisces. And it kind of makes sense because when you look at the elements of Florida, Florida is majority of water. So when you look at Florida, Florida is actually one of the only states, I believe, if not the only state, but definitely one of the only states that actually is surrounded by water. You see what I'm saying? Without it being an island. And that little bit that is attached to land, the rest of it is around water. Whether you're in the west, the south, in Miami, Key West, you in the west part, the east part, it don't matter. You around water. Um, so that's interesting about Florida. And then when you think about Florida, think about everything like with the Miami Dolphins, like everything is like water. It's like a water creatures and shit like that. Like even like think about like the gators and shit like that. Like I ain't trying to get into too deep about that, but just you can understand a lot of the energy of the Pisces in the backdrop of Florida. And another one is this, because Pisces deal with heavy emotions and feelings, and a lot of times, people in Florida, they have certain narratives within them. This okay, look, okay, okay, boom, this is going right here. Stay here, stay hard. Listen to me say this. This is a good one. This is a good one right here. A good correlation is like this. You know how they be saying like, oh, Floridians are crazy, right? They be like, oh, Florida crazy, Florida crazy. They say the people crazy, and then what they also say? They also say the weather crazy because the weather always changing. It be sunny in 1 hour, and the next hour it be raining. Then they want a thunderstorm. Then they want to be bright sunny again, like nothing ever happened. And tell me that ain't Pisces energy though. And they ain't trying to call nobody crazy. I mean, let's be real. A lot of Pisces crazy, but let's be real. It's a situation where it's like, okay, you can tell. Shout out to Mantisha Khan. Hey, how you doing? Shout out to Matisha Khan. How you doing? I'm glad to see you in here. I'm glad you're here with me to learn this knowledge and all that stuff like that. Hope you really hear me out. And feel free to ask any questions and like leave anything in the chat if you want to. But let me get back to it. I'm gonna speak a little closer to the camera so y'all can hear me just in case. But you can see a lot of the Piscean energy play out over Florida in many different ways. Like I say, even with the actual weather of Florida, right? With the sporadic and chaotic events of weather. It could be raining one day and storm, and then the next second it's bright and sunny like nothing ever happened. Then they want to be cool and catch a cold front the next day, and it be cold outside. Then after that, now I want to be blistering hot. You see what I'm saying? Everything is chaotic here, and that's Pisces energy. And as a Pisces themselves, as a strong Pisces, a Pisces that really is like literally have strong Pisces energy, and ask them how they day to day emotions and feelings feel, and tell me it don't got something to do with feeling different type of ways throughout the day. A Pisces, I can't speak directly like I am one, but from a lot of Pisces that I heard, they say it in a way as if it's not like they sitting on one emotion all day like a Scorpio, aka being settled in one emotion to the point where you end up holding grudges, not letting things go. That's why Scorpio was still waters because it don't let nothing go. The waters emotions and the feel is emotions and feelings. So the water Scorpio is it don't let nothing go. It's still, it's stagnant. It just hold it forever. It never move. It never be mutual and transition out of that or nothing. It just hold on it. And what happens when you too stagnant and you hold on to stuff? It becomes toxicity. This is why water that's still can become toxic or develop all kind of molecules on it and bacteria growth that no longer is drinkable. Which your water should be moving anyway if you're gonna drink it. But that just lets you know right there, boom, boom, boom. So with Pisces is different. Pisces is mutual. That's why they say Cancer is like the big wave crashing down, boom, the initiate, the strong wave, the strong emotion initially, and then you got Pisces, it's mutual. That's like waves. When you go on a boat, you on a cruise ship, you look out into the ocean, the water's moving, ain't it? It's not still, it's not stagnant, it's moving. Boom, you see some waves here and there, but it's moving. You see different waves flowing, but it's moving. Different tides, different currents. There's wave, there's moving, there's motion in that ocean. Boom, put no pun intended. But um, that's letting you know a Pisces emotions move throughout the day. They move. I'm gonna go ask some of my Pisces friends right now. But you ask yours too and look up more about the energy of Pisces. But we all know even like a fish is here and there. But that energy is moving. That energy is in one place, then it'll be another place. It'll feel this way about something, then it'll feel another way about something. It'll feel this way, then it'll feel that way, then this way. It's constantly moving. It's constantly in different type of emotions. It's emotional tide, aka that's why they call it tide. It's emotional tide. It's constantly moving. It's in different places. It's dealing with a lot chaotically. So it's more back to supported by the chaotic energy, Pisces, which is feminine in itself too. And it's not good or bad to this. There's a lot of creativity and energy out of this. A lot of Pisces have strong healing energy, but when they don't know what they do or they don't know the energy that they have, the energy that they may not use it to their best benefit and direct that in a negative way that they may not be aware of. But that's how it plays out too when you talk about Pisces energy. But it just make a lot of sense too, with the waters and all stuff like that. That's why they always saying Florida is crazy, and then the Florida weather is crazy. It's always here and there, just like a Pisces emotions. Just like a Pisces emotions. That makes a lot of sense. It was something else I was gonna say too. Oh, another thing is Pisces deal with a lot of creativity too. So one thing about Florida is known for a lot of creativity. Now, don't get it twisted, especially more specifically in certain spots like South Florida, like when you talk about Lauderdale, or especially Miami, right? It's known for like it's a huge art thing. They have an art thing event there every year, just like anywhere else, but it's a big deal with the carnivals, and it's just a lot of art in Florida. Cause I look at it in reverse. I don't look at the center of something is the heart. Like some people look at like, oh, this the heart of Texas, and they literally talk about the middle of Texas. No, the heart of something is like the most authentic energy of it, or the main source of something. So the true heart of Florida is Miami. Believe it or not, the true heart of Florida is Miami. It's not in dead center in the middle of Florida. Because when you talk about esoterically, this is just where energy is being produced at the most, the main source, and that would be more so towards Miami. Now I'm not saying there's not other parts that don't bring in certain things and all that stuff. Everything works as a unit. Hell, our own chakra system works as a unit with energy. But the main source of it would be like Miami. That's where all the ports. That's where all the. It's like the capital. They call it sometimes the capital of South America. A lot of people come from all over the world. Just Miami. Miami is like the heart center of. Or let me. I'm not even gonna say heart center. I'm gonna just say that's like the source of Florida to an extent. And that's where all like a lot. Like I say a lot of creativity with the foods, with the art, the paintings, the actual artistic endeavors in general. Whether you talk about music, the dancing, the carnivals, festivals, everything going out there is a lot of life to it. It's very lively, a lot of energy to it. You see what I'm saying? And that's Miami for your ass. But that's also the soul energy of Florida too, in so many different ways. And it's got different spectrums to it. Just like Pisces got different spectrums to it. You got um. I'm sorry, you got spectrums of Pisces that's dead center in the middle, just full out Pisces period. Then you got Pisces energy that's a little bit closer to Aquarius, dealing more so with the air, aka is water, but it's more dealing with the more air with the waters, but a certain type of air. You see what I'm saying? And that makes sense too, because you talk about tornadoes and twisters. But that's another video too. And then when you got go over a little bit more to the opposite side, you got Pisces that's closer to the Aries energy, aka more fiery Pisces. That's got a lot of creativity, Don't get it effed up. A lot of creativity, a lot of imagination, strong passion and desire, very emotionally deep, deep. You got emotions and a lot of emotions and feelings. You know what I'm saying? But you got different spectrums, just like with Florida, you got different spectrums. You got Miami, then you got more North Florida, what that deal with agriculture and history. Not agriculture, yeah, I think that is agriculture. And then you got other parts that deal with other things. You know, it's a lot to it. I ain't gonna break down every single thing now, but I was just saying you can see a lot of the correlations with Pisces in Florida. Now I took a lot of time on that one, but let me move on. I'm gonna do a few that I know for examples. Like I know California, that's a huge Sagittarius and Capricorn energy. Depending on what spectrum of California, I personally believe more of North California is more dedicated towards the Capricorn energy, and South is more dedicated towards Sagittarius energy. But either way, just know California is supported by a lot of Sagittarius and Capricorn energy in the first place. Capricorn, because if you pay attention to this, California is heavily emphasis on not only, of course, money, but a lot of like business, infrastructure, building, yeah, money, a lot of businesses and stuff like that, especially with the building and the initiation of the industry and the movie industry, Hollywood, Bollywood, all that stuff. Um, a lot of modeling, like it's a lot of jobs, it's a lot of careers, a lot of building and initiative building though. That's the Capricorn energy. That's a lot of that going out there, a lot of building, a lot of addition that they adding out there to different stuff when it comes to business in many different ways and many different types of careers as well. Not just one, many different ones, many different businesses. And then the reason why I say Sagittarius because Sagittarius is like a more of a free energy, like a free not being trapped energy. So a lot of times, yeah, you got different families that's super religious. Yeah, we got hella people that's in California that's super religious, but it's more back to supported by spiritual energies. And so this is why you had like a lot of hippie movement one time was in California more than anywhere else at one point, and it might have been everywhere at one point, like in the 70s, but it was heavy, heavy, heavy in California in different times, more than anywhere else, really, a heavy influence there, at least, to say the least. And so you see a lot of that play out now with like being free willed as far as expressing you see more people that may be more laid back or express their true self more so. And yeah, you got the games, you got people that do all kind of stuff too. I ain't talking about that, but I'm just saying the energy of California in general. When you hear it, it gives you a certain energy, like the beachy vibe, the chill, laid back vibe. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of that is like Sagittarius. Like you got a lot of people who very artistic in California, very outside of the box, very far out thinkers. They may come across as very unorthodox or flight, you know, but a lot of times it expands a certain level of creativity, like a expansion of consciousness that you might have not thought about before. They think outside the box, and sometimes it may be considered weird or black sheepish, but it's like that's just the energy of it. Sometimes, California is very different than the rest of the map. Is the best way to say it. California got a very unique energy. California got California energy. A lot of people actually, a lot of other states actually copy off of the California energy. If you really want to be honest, um, and I ain't trying to get into like the Bloods and Crips and everything because there's different people think different. I mean, I think it all came from that one source too, but that's fine because I understand different things too. I ain't trying to get into that, but I'm just saying the energy, a lot of energy, and yeah, like you say, even if you do say gangs and cultures, a lot of things come from that space. But I ain't even trying to get too deep into that. But just understand that you can see how that plays out in so many different ways. Um, you see what I'm saying with that expansion and spirituality and all that stuff like that. Um, not being constructed into what the normal routine and pattern is, being able to be unique to an extent. You see what I'm saying? That's kind of like that. Now, moving on, another one that my homeboy brought to me one day, and I thought about it. He talked about China being Capricorn, and I was like, I could see it being more Aries because it's like heavy, passionate, driven. But then he made it make sense to me. He was like, you know what? When you think about China, though, you think of, I mean, when you think about Capricorn, you know Mars, I think, is exalted in Capricorn, aka that's what rules Aries. So basically, like Aries being exalted in Capricorn or something like that, or Mars being exalted in Capricorn. So it will make sense. And I was like, damn, that is true, because they always did the red dragon. But then at the same time, he was basically saying like it seemed like it's more Capricorn because when you look at the energy of China, that's why they always building. Like they built the most infrastructure. They always building new stuff, building this, building that. So it puts them in a situation where you start realizing like, damn, they trying to build a lot. They obsessed with building, and that's Capricorn energy, like I brought down before too. Um, with the situation as far as like then that building, all that stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? Now I'm not saying that China is specifically either one. Like I think it could be either one. It's either Capricorn or the Aries energy as a totality. But I can see it both play out either way. Because if you Capricorn, I mean, if you Capricorn, Mars exalted in Capricorn, so that's Aries being exalted there. So you'll play out a lot of those passionate traits too. But it could probably play out as vice versa too. If it's Aries energy, passionate, it may be more comfortable with being the initiate of building or being the initiate of creating something too. So it's like that Capricornish Aries energy. I want to say is China for sure. You could tell, especially with the heavy martial arts, with the war tactics, knowing how to fight, knowing how to doing all that stuff, but also being big into infrastructure, building, and culture and all that stuff. Definitely giving Aries Capricorn energy. Now, another one. Now, this one was me just thinking this up. One of the ones that I feel like is Scorpio is like Japan, and I say that is because Scorpio is not only isolated. In order to be, and that's a big deal. It's isolated, but and they're very big onto death and ghosts. In order to be Scorpio or be an energy of Scorpio, you have to have not just death in the spiritual realm and ghosts. You also have to have a strong sexuality, and there's one more, but that's the main one. Death, ghost, a strong sense of sexuality, and what was that other one? That's pretty much the basic though. And when it comes to Japan, you see that they have all these they harness all these abilities. When you think about the samurai cutting people head off, and slicing off arms and limbs, like, and then they be real big on honor. Like they'll take their own life. You see what I'm saying? Like they don't look at death as nothing. That ain't nothing to them. Um, and they really have a strong connection to the spirit as far as a big interest in delving into like ghosts, spirits, different stuff like that. The different ghosts over there, Hiroshima, all that stuff. Like a lot of ghosts influences over there, and they aware of this stuff too. And they got a strong connection with death, the spirits and ghosts, spirituality, which is behind the veil. That's Scorpio energy. And then they're very big on sexuality. Even how they created the whole hentai thing, they created that shit. Maybe let's be real, they created that shit. Japan, Japanese and shit like that. And a lot of they got a lot of creativity too. You see what I'm saying? Um, because where there's death, there's also life. So Scorpio deal with death, and transformation. But guess what? Since you got there a lot of death energy, you also got a lot of life energy, and life energy is creativity in itself. Um, or that's at least one of the energies that come out of the energy of life is creativity. So by default, you can find a lot of creativity in many different ways, whether you're aware or unaware of it. But that you see that play out with Japan. Now who was the other one? Yeah, okay. Another one was Haiti. We talk about Haiti. I'm just doing random ones that I can remember. 'Cause I don't know them all, but like Haiti. Haiti is real big on like the Hades energy. When you think about the Taurus, the bull, like the Hades energy, and you see it play out too because it's a lot of when you think of Hades, what do you think of? You think of fire, so you think a lot of passion, a lot of transformation and death going on too. But it's also the earth element. You see, so it's like Hades is a mix of the earth element and fire element. So you got a mix of being passionate and violence and fire and burning and death and all stuff like that too and transformation. But you also got a strong emphasis of structure, which is earth element, practicality, which is the earth element. All these things that deal with the earth element, like structure, practicality, being able to be fixated on something, getting your 1-2 done, standing on business, taking care of your actual responsibilities, and creating structure and routine and patternizing these things and routines to where about your actual physical life circumstance and situation as a whole, whether financially, career wise, or just in your physical situation and period being here on your own earth. And you see Haiti play out that a lot. They very big into like especially when they, at least when they come over here. I can't speak for everything, but at least when they come over here, you see a strong emphasis with discipline. That's the best way to say it. A lot of discipline in many different ways that you may not be aware of now. And I don't have people that's barely from there, aka they moved there, they not even from there, but they just heard stuff. No, I'm talking about people that know real people that don't live there, seen real people that live there, talk with real people, been told stuff by those actual people. Not just random people just talking about stuff because they had somebody that lived there before that they moved over here and they really didn't live in that. Like you got to be actually knowledgeable about what you're talking about first. And feel free to put in your comments and all that stuff in that too. But that's one thing to know. But um, that's Hades for you. That's Hades energy in the back to drop out Haiti. I'm trying to think of some other ones that I can remember about. Y'all, if you hang on with me if you want, but I was just thinking of some other ones before I get out of here real quick. Um, okay, okay. Another one that people don't know about is when you talk about Mexico, the energy of Mexico, depending on where you at, because it shifts just like each sign and each constellation shifts. Like when you go on, when like once, like for example, right, when you leave out Aquarius, you go into Pisces. But then you can have, but the beginning part of Pisces is correlated with a different energy than the ending part of Pisces, or the middle of Pisces. You know what I'm saying? They are different modalities. But just like with Mexico, but overall Mexico like is really like resonating with like that. We're in the middle of Scorpio and Sagittarius. That space in the constellation that's between Scorpio and Sagittarius, that mean that space, because that's an actual space. That space and location, that energy that gets birthed out of the middle of Sagittarius and Scorpio is neither full Sagittarius and neither full Scorpio. It's in the middle. So it's a mixture of both these together. So that Sagittarius and Scorpio came together, created that whatever that element was. That's what's in the middle of the Sagittarius and Scorpio constellation. And in the middle of those energies gets birthed out something completely it, different. Gets birthed out something completely whole itself. So it's not strictly just Sagittarius energy, and it's not strictly just Scorpio energy. It's a mixture of both, which really is crazy because when you think about it, that's why you see so much death in Mexico too, because Mexico is real big on the X. You see what I'm saying? Which means death, and so you see a lot of murdering with the cartels and stuff like that, and all that stuff still coming out there. But then you also got the fire element, which is like passion, deep passion, and also anger, aggression, rage, and you see that deal with Mexico's too. So it's a mix of like death and rage energies. But don't get it twisted. The fire has positive energies to it too. This is why they also can be very creative with all the like the Diablo and the different Day of the Dead when they come out with the different arts and creative stuff from the different Aztec tribes. They're very creative people. But just that energy in general deal with that energy of which is a mix of Scorpio and Sagittarius. And that's actually one of the hottest that's actually one of the hottest that's actually the hottest fire in the constellation wheel, to be honest, because that fire is hotter than Aries, and Aries is supposed to be the hottest, but that mix isn't actually in the backdrop, and that mix right there is actually the hottest fire. The same way they say Cancer is the most emotional sign, right? And it is, but when you go to the middle of Aries and Pisces, that little cusp area right there, and that behind that in that constellation area right there behind that, that is Cetus, and Cetus is actually like the big whale, and it's deep in its waters, aka its emotions. So if you somewhere in between Aries and Pisces, if you want a certain degree that your stuff conjunct and they deal with that energy, then that means you're gonna be even more emotional than the Cancer. You see what I'm saying? Same way dealing with the Sagittarius and the middle of Sagittarius and Scorpio. And that cuss and that energy, it's a possibility you may carry out more passion and angry energies than the damn Aries. You see what I'm saying? Because these are in the backdrops. You see what I'm saying? So that's how that plays out. These are in the middle and um split between two energies, creating the energy itself. But with that being said, I'm gonna get up out of here. But I was trying to think about another one. Um, I gotta look up Hawaii because I know Hawaii dealing with something too, dealing with the energy. Because by the way, you can have multiple energies scattered around the Earth in different ways, different modalities. Though you see what I'm saying? Real talk. That is true too. But with that being said, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I'm trying to think of anything come out here real quick before I get out. Um, mm, Well, that's it for now I can think of. If something comes to my mind, I'll probably come back. Probably won't, but hey. But with that being said, y'all take it easy. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the video, man. Much love to y'all that stayed in here. Y'all have a great day, man. Peace.